Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we are still in my funky chunky journal, and today I'm going to make a masterboard so that I can use inside my journal. So a masterboard is basically, I guess the way that I would describe it is a collage piece or a piece of art that can be cut up into different sections and they can be used for different things. So I guess it's basically a background, but a little bit more involved than a background. It can stand alone on its own, or it can be cut up. So a masterboard you can use in scrapbooking or card making, or like I will be doing in my journal, I'll be using this masterboard for tags and tabs and tip-ins and all sorts of other things. And this masterboard that I created is going to be specific to my color palette that I'm using in this journal. So it's yellow, orange, pink, and a hint of like a aqua blue kind of color. So I did start off with collaging down some leftover scraps that I had just on my desk. I wasn't particular about where they go or if they even match for that matter. I just wanted a little bit of extra interest in the background. And in the end, when you look close up, I can still see the text coming through from the black and white piece, and I can still see the floral bits coming through from the other pieces. So although I'm covering it up, I'm not completely annihilating it, even though it may come across that way. So I've done my little patches of yellow, orange, and pink, and I've done those in threes. And now I'm going in with reductive stenciling, again in threes, and I'm using the same stencil. So over the top of the pink, I went with yellow, and I kind of start in the pink section and I work up into the yellow section, so it all blends together smoothly. On the yellow, I went with pink, and then on the orange, I don't know, maybe I didn't go in with orange. I don't think so. Sorry, I kind of missed that part. Okay, so to add my next layer, before I went in with the color, I did knock that color back a little bit with some white gesso, just to push it back into the background a bit for the color to sit on top of. So I have these tiny little squeezy bottles with some paint that I've mixed with water, and it's like a blunt needle tip, and I like using that to add some scribbly writing in that. But I haven't used this for a while, and it's been extremely hot here in summer. So a lot of them have dried or have become very, very gluggy in the container. So I did what I could, and then I gave it a good dry. It took a while because it's so thick. And the thinner parts actually kind of disappeared into the background, which was odd, but I still have some of that yellow popping up, so it is a neon yellow color. And then when I was finished with that, I mixed up a little bit of Marlene's Mermaid paint, which is the turquoise one, and some white acrylic paint, just to make the opacity a little bit more, because I did try doing it without the white paint, but it wasn't opaque enough. It was kind of disappearing. And of course, the lots of dot stencil in black. So this masterboard, I could have left just here and it would have been absolutely fine. But I wanted to show you kind of options that you've got with this kind of thing and things that you can do. So now I'm going in with Marlene's stencil paste. I didn't do a very good job of it. It went all leaky underneath the stencil, but that's okay, because in the end, it's probably going to get covered up with something else after I've cut this into tinier pieces. I wanted to add a little bit more white and brightness because after I put that stencil paste down, I really liked the contrast of it. So I decided to use the gibberish stamp and a little bit of paint pen to make some white marks. And if you ever use paint on your stamps, please remember to wash them properly before you put them away, because acrylic paint is plastic, and when it dries on your stamp, it is actually going to ruin your stamp. A little bit of blue splatter and now white splatter just from the paint pen. And again, at any stage, this page could have been left as is. So you stop where you are ready to stop. Next, I felt I wanted to add some neons. So I'm just using Marlene's pink neon paints and scrubbing it on with my finger. And I think I went in with orange and the hot pink as well. And I'm just kind of boosting the areas. So where there's pink, I'm boosting it with pink. And where there's orange, I'm boosting it with orange. This is a gloss. They used to be called gloss sprays, but now they're just called gloss. And it's like a liquid acrylic vibe that Dina Wakely does. And this is a beautiful neon yellow. And I also have the pink one. But again, because of the heat here, the dropper didn't want to work. So I tried cleaning it out, but it didn't quite work. So I just dipped in a paintbrush and squeezed the tip to make my nice big drops. And once I've dried that off, I'm going in with my paint pens and I'm just doing black and white stripes. So it's quite random. I don't have anywhere specific where I'm putting anything. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just putting color and marks on the page because I know this is going to be cut up. And I'm going to show you just 3 little things that I made with this specific masterboard. There's some close-ups, so you can still see some of the detail underneath and all those layers that have built up. So in the front pocket, I wanted to make a little tag. So I'm turning my page over because I don't want to see which part I'm actually cutting. I want it to be a surprise when I turn the page over again. And after a bit of faffing, I realized I better just measure the thing instead of eyeballing it because it was ending up a little bit wonky. So here I came to my centers and measured it out, drew a line and did a proper cut. And then I'm rounding off the corners, and that's a fun little tag. I'm going to add a hole and a piece of ribbon. And I will be intentional about using this ribbon specifically throughout the journal, just so there's the theme carries through the whole journal. And now I'm finding a little quote, and that is my tag done. Easy peasy. At the back, I'm leaving open. I'm not putting anything on the back. I could probably put like a book page or something there, or maybe some stenciling, but that would be a fun little journaling spot for the future. Now I've got my tag punch, and I'm going to punch out some tags. I tried folding this board in half to punch it, but it didn't work. So I did 2 separate ones, and I'm just going to glue them together on either side of the page. I'm being pretty random about where I choose to put them. I'm not putting too much thought in it because the journal is so new still, and this is still like just the basic skeleton of it. There's still a lot of opportunity later on in the journal, I guess, when I've decorated more pages and when things are starting to take shape. I'll be a little bit more intentional about where I put things and how I'm going to try and make things work together and match up. So this little card, I just used one of Marlene's swatch cards to draw out the template. So it's a little playing card. And then I'm going to stencil some black hearts onto the corners. I first thought I'll just do 2 corners and 1 in the center. And then I decided, no, that looks a little bit odd. So I did 4 corners, and then I'm going to add a number 1 with Marlene's white Duo acrylic marker in there. And I'm just going to outline those little hearts as well with white, just to make them pop out and define them. Okay, this card is going to be a tip in. So a tip in, I'm sure you know, is a little flap that folds out of the journal. And that's just going to be more journaling space, or perhaps I'll make some art on the other side, I don't know. And I'm just sticking it in with some white washi tape there. And I'm doing the outside and the inside to make it nice and secure. That's cute. So 3 tiny projects with 1 masterboard. I'm keeping that masterboard in the box where I keep this book and all of its little goodies, because I know that I'll be using that one throughout the whole journal, and maybe I'll even make another one at some stage to add. So now I'm just decorating this little pockets in the front, and I've got some die cuts and extra flowers, and I've got a sticker there that I've put UV resin on to give it a little bit of dimension, and all of that's just going to be a little cluster in the front there. I had to rush this part because we were late for something and we were heading out the door, but I did get it done eventually. Okay, that's it. Please let me know in the comments, have you made a masterboard before? I'd like to know if you know what it is or have played with it before. And I will see you again soon. Bye.